Most dog bites don't come out of nowhere. They come after a warning most owners never learn to read. We're taught that dogs bite when they're mean or aggressive or badly trained. But the truth is almost the opposite. Most dogs give 5 clear signals before they ever use their teeth. The problem is, we're not watching for them. Dogs don't want to bite. Biting is actually a last resort. It's what happens when every other message was ignored. So if you want to keep your dog and the people around them safe, you need to understand what your dog is saying before it gets to that point. Let's go through each signal, one by one. The freeze. Your dog goes completely still, not relaxed, frozen. Their body stiffens, their breathing slows, and for just a moment, they stop everything they were doing. That freeze is not your dog being weird. That's your dog making a decision. In dog language, freezing signals, "I am extremely uncomfortable and I am considering my options." Canine behaviorists call this a hard freeze, and research on stress responses in domestic dogs shows it often precedes escalation when the trigger isn't removed. Here's what most owners miss. They see the freeze and think their dog is fine because they're not barking or growling. But silence isn't calm. It can be the most serious warning of all. If your dog freezes, stop what you're doing. Give them space. Don't push forward. The whale eye. Your dog turns their head slightly away, but their eyes stay fixed on you. You see the whites of their eyes in a crescent shape at the corner. That's called whale eye, and it's one of the most misread signals in dog behavior. Most people think their dog is just looking around or being cute. What's actually happening is the dog is trying to monitor a threat without directly confronting it. They're torn between watching you and avoiding direct eye contact, because in dog communication, direct staring is a challenge. Studies in animal cognition show that dogs are highly sensitive to human gaze direction and use eye signals to communicate emotional states. Whale eye in particular is documented as a reliable stress indicator. If you see that white crescent, especially when combined with a stiff body, your dog is telling you they feel trapped or threatened. The practical move? Look away. Break your gaze. Give them an exit route. Don't lean in closer, even with good intentions. The low growl that gets ignored. Your dog growls. Low, quiet, and short. And you tell them, "No, stop that. Don't growl at me." Here's the hard truth about that. Punishing a growl doesn't remove the discomfort. It removes the warning. You've taught your dog that the signal isn't safe to give. And now, the next time they feel that same stress, they skip straight to biting, because growling only got them in trouble. Veterinary behaviorists consistently identify punishment of growling as one of the leading causes of sudden bites, the kind owners describe as coming from nowhere. The growl is communication. It's your dog using their voice before they use their teeth. The right response is to acknowledge the discomfort, remove the trigger, create distance, and later work with a professional if the growling is happening regularly. A dog that growls is a dog that's still talking to you. Don't silence them. Lip licking and yawning at the wrong moment. Your dog licks their lips. Not after eating, not after drinking. Right in the middle of an interaction with a stranger, or a child, or a new situation. And then they yawn, wide and slow. These are what dog behaviorists call calming signals. Small, involuntary behaviors dogs use to manage their own stress and to signal to others that they're not a threat. When you see your dog doing this around people or new environments, they're not being rude or sleepy. They're actively trying to de-escalate a situation they find overwhelming. The problem is when those signals are ignored and the situation continues. The stress builds, the signals stop working, and the dog runs out of options. Watch for these moments, especially around children who often don't notice them at all. If you see lip licking or yawning in a tense situation, it's time to give your dog a break. The hard stare with a still tail. The tail is wagging, so everything must be fine, right? Not always. A wagging tail means your dog is emotionally aroused, but arousal isn't the same as happiness. A high, stiff, slow wag, combined with a locked, unblinking stare, is one of the most dangerous combinations in dog body language, and one of the most commonly misread. Research has shown that the direction and speed of tail wags communicate different emotional states, and that even other dogs respond differently to each type. A slow, rigid tail held high signals dominance, intensity, and potential aggression, not friendliness. Combine that with a hard, unblinking stare, what trainers call a predatory gaze, and your dog is fully locked in on something. That something could be a squirrel. It could also be a child running nearby. The practical takeaway? Don't read the tail alone. Read the whole dog. The eyes, the body, the tail together. If the stare is hard and the tail is stiff, create distance now, before anything escalates. Here's what all 5 of these signals have in common. They're your dog trying to avoid a bite, not cause one. The freeze, the whale eye, the growl, the calming signals, the hard stare, every single one is your dog communicating before they feel forced to act. The owners who never get bitten aren't the ones with perfectly trained dogs. They're the ones who learn to listen. Once you start seeing these signals, you can't unsee them, and your relationship with your dog changes completely. You stop reacting to behavior and start understanding it. If this video helped you see your dog differently, hit like and subscribe. There's a lot more on dog psychology and what your dog is really trying to tell you. And if you have a dog that's been showing any of these signals, drop it in the comments. I read every one.